Yo, welcome to another episode of KLM University. We got another dope guest, my brother, MPR Richie Rich. We finally got him in town, so we wanted to get him on our stage. So we want to welcome my bro, Richie Rich. What's going on, brother?
Everything is everything.
Appreciate you for joining me.
You know it.
Kind of my fault.
Look.
Yeah.
We here. We in the building.
Yeah. So what you doing? What you doing in here? What you doing in town today? What brought you into Atlanta?
A few things. A couple kid events. My son's birthday is Sunday.
Okay.
So we doing some stuff for him and his friends and his family. So that's mainly.
That's dope. What's that? December
22nd.
Oh, so he's past the Sag. Well, he's a Capricorn. Is that Capricorn season?
Capricorn.
Yeah, Capricorn season. Yeah, my daughter's birthday was just December 11th. She just turned 16. I took her to Aruba for her birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's hard.
Had to make sure we step in that new
now.
life with new experiences and new travel. So she's got a passport, so we took her out there. But congratulations, happy birthday to your little one.
For sure.
So for the people that don't know, tell them a little bit about yourself.
I'm an artist. Outside of being an artist, I'm a father, I'm a husband, an entrepreneur. I do artist development, social media campaigns, real estate. I'm in the crypto, I'm in the stock market.
Jack of all trades, damn.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm in
a little bit of everything that makes sense. You feel me?
You got to have multiple streams of income.
For sure.
Yeah, so that's dope. That's dope. I know you from Detroit, right?
Yes, sir.
So how was it like growing up in Detroit as little Richie Rich?
Detroit was different because a lot of the stuff that I learned, I didn't realize what it really was until I was older, right? So, for instance, like just being in the neighborhood, understanding the street culture, understanding the society, understanding poverty, a lot of things that I understood, I thought that's what the whole world was like. So getting older, joining the military, traveling, doing different things, I started to realize like most of the world don't even know what we really living like. They don't understand it. It doesn't really calculate to them, or it doesn't really make sense. Like the things that we grew up doing, it don't really make sense. You know, for instance, like I'll get around a lot of different people and it's like, yo, you seen this movie, you know about this show, and I'm like, I was really outside. I don't really recall watching movies like that. You know, I'm just now even trying to get into it with my family. Like my wife will always be like, you don't know about this movie? I'm like, nah. She like, me and the kids just watched this movie. And I'm like, it's something because she watched it before. You feel me? And it's like, I've never even watched it. So a lot of the things that I was taught and the things that I learned, I'm realizing like that was only that little part of the world that understood that. Nobody else understood that. Nobody understood me being 12, 11, 13. I'm gambling with 17, 20-year-olds at 11. You feel me? Like we shooting dice in the neighborhood and I'm a kid when I'm looking at my 11-year-old when she was 11. I'm like, how was I outside with them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of the things that we were shown and taught. It's like, dang, it's real levels to it, you know, and I'm trying to change that nature with my kids and, you know, raise them differently and show them different stuff while still understanding like, hey, this is real life too. Like it's people that's like this. It's people that's unfortunate. It's people that don't have what you have. It's people that live like you don't live. And if you don't understand it, then you're not aware. You get what I'm saying? Because I run into people that aren't aware of what's really going on. Because if you don't understand what I went through, you have no clue of what's really going on. But you think you got it figured out. But if you move like how I'm moving with my kids, there's no way you gonna understand what we was doing and it be something that you feel for real. It's like you can kind of comprehend it because you're like, okay, I get it, but you really don't understand unless you was there on the scene, living in it, doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole environment.
Nah, I feel you because a lot of people like they think that their kids know exactly what they grew up in. Like I'm like, yo, your kids don't know. Like
They don't know
and they
at
be
all.
putting that same type of pressure on their kids. I'm like, yo,
Right.
we grew up in some tough times. Like, you know, a lot of stuff that they have spoon fed to them. We didn't have spoon fed. We had to grind and get it out the mud, you know. And I think I try to understand. Cause I told you my oldest one just turned 16. Like, and I got to see it from like 16. I'm working a job. I've probably been working for 2 years. Got 2 years of experience on my belt. Like I can put in my resume, you know. But they're not raised the same way. You know what I mean? So sometimes we got to just make sure we understand that they have a different upbringing, and they coming up in a different era. So we got to kind of be mindful. But I respect it. Like sometimes those inner city kids, 'cause I'm from New York, so those inner city kids, like that world, that city is all you know, and that's the world, bro.
It's the whole world. You think that everything works like that, and I'm like, it don't. You know, we were just having a conversation the other day, like the opportunities alone that our kids have versus what we had. The internet wasn't as big as it is now. Even the accessibility to it, you feel me? Like my kid, my newest kid, which is 2, he has a phone.
Yep.
It's like at 2, he has a phone. I didn't get a phone till I was like 18, 19. You feel me? Like they're trying to create social media pages at 5 and 6.
Yeah.
We didn't even understand social media till I was 19, 20. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a whole different world. I can't, and me and my wife talk about it all the time, we can't expect our kids to even try to move the way that we had to move because that same energy isn't there. They will never understand it.
So how do you balance it out? Like, how do you balance out like your perspective versus what they're experiencing? Like, how do you try to fit that in as a parent?
A big part of how we balancing it out right now is we're homeschooling. So that's giving us the ability to really hone in and teach them
some core values.
It's like they gone for 8 hours every day and we can't really tell them much outside of what the schools tell them because they burnt out.
Yeah, that's true.
They getting burnt out through us. So everything we putting on to them, that's what they understanding and learning versus them going to a public school and you know, getting all of this, and by the time it's time for us to give them what we feel like they should really know, they burnt out. So we just been homeschooling the whole time, and it's like.
Or sometimes you have people raising your kids on the outside. Now, when they finally finish, you ain't got no handprint on your kids. You like, yo, you can't tell them nothing. They don't want to listen to you. They've been raised by everything else other than listen to everybody else other than you. So yeah, I feel you. Like that homeschool is cool. Like I homeschool my oldest one, like because I want to make sure she understands, like this is the vital parts of life. Like you got to understand how to run your, how to not just run it. I show them how to run businesses and how to do certain things, but just how to manage your money, like little things like that school is not teaching you right now. Exactly. You got to learn how to do that. Like isosceles triangles is cool, but if you don't know how to manage your money, bro, like you ain't gonna make it too far in this world. So I try to make sure I give her the important things.
Exactly. And just how you just said it, like the little things. It's like, to us, it's like, that's the little things. Why are y'all not teaching the kids the little things? Because it's so much more bigger stuff out here to understand and learn, but they're not even giving them the actual resources that we know as adults, like, you really need this. You really need to know how to count. You really need to know how to read. You really need to know certain things that they're not even teaching you, but they're telling you about all of this other stuff that you never use. How much of what we learned in school do we really use? Even when it comes down to problem solving, they don't tell you how to problem solve the way that we really problem solve. They telling you in like a different format. I can't really explain it.
Even how they do the math is like, what the hell? You don't just add it 1 + 1. You got to do this plus that to equal that. So yeah, they. I feel like. Let me ask you this: do you think school is going to phase itself out eventually?
I think it's happening as we speak.
Yeah.
Because you got somebody like me and my wife that's homeschooling. You get what I'm saying? If we're realizing it, how many other people is watching what we're doing? How many other people is peeping game from watching YouTube, from watching all of these other people do this? And it's like, it's dying out, not only because of technology. You got AI and all these other things that's taking the school by storm right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like
it does the work for you.
Come on now, it's too advanced, and our kids aren't like, I don't see this generation being like workers. When we was coming up, the older guys, you at least knew some electricians, some plumbers, some carpenters, some, you know, some trades, some car, fix on cars.
Yeah.
Where is they at now? You don't got no new kid talking about nothing about that. They playing video games, they in the tech, they in the computers, they in a whole different world as a generation. This is not just black or white or Puerto Rican. It's the generation is all changed because of social media, that they're realizing school isn't what it is. You know what I'm saying? They go to school, but what the kids doing in school? They got their phones. I want to go to a school and really sit back and watch recess. Like recess, we was outside. We might have been fighting. We might have been jumping on monkey bar. I the they got their phone.
It's the younger ones. The younger ones is probably playing, but them older ones, man, it's just straight. Everybody in their phones.
Man, the youngest ones ain't even playing. My son too, and he glued to this phone, glued to the TV. This dude know how to change the channel, pick his show. If he don't like it, he scrolls. I'm like, yo, dude, too.
I got a 4-year-old. He doing the same thing. I'm like, he know how to turn on the TV. I'm like, how he found YouTube? I'm like, how the hell you found YouTube? I'm like, and he does it with the remote backwards. I'm like, how you do it upside down and backwards? You know how to do it.
Tech babies, yo, they know. Man. They know exactly what's going on. And school is not, they not learning in school. If you ask the average kid right now from ages 5 to 10, where do they learn the most from? They're going to tell you YouTube. Straight up. They're not going to say, I learned the most in school, because as soon as they leave school, from the time they leave to the time they go to bed, they're on that phone or they're on social media, some form of it, until they lay it down. It's not like, oh, you got to get home by 6 o'clock to watch this TV show no more. Nah. That's not happening. They watch regular TVs
nowhere. It's not in existence no more. No more regular TV, bro. Nothing. And that's what, honestly, that's what my platform is for. Like KLM University, like it's for YouTube so you can learn something. Cause I'm like, I just got to put son on there for you can learn something. Like, you know, I know that's how they learning these days, right? So if I could bring knowledge towards that platform, that might help something, you know, like, cause come on, man. Like, I'm just tired of the stuff that they just get fed, you know, like it's a bunch of garbage too. So I'm trying to get, you know, add some type of value to YouTube, should I say, right? So KLM University is part of that, you know, and that's what is also, you know, my legacy is very important to me. Like I was telling you before, I think people need to know who their great grandfathers is, right? So you got to do something. So this is me showing my kids like, yo, I got something for you. This is how I think. This is who the people I like to talk to. You could probably learn, they could probably learn something from you, your story, your journey, right? And how many other people can learn something. So I love, you know, bringing, you know, people like you, especially that's in everything, just like I am in everything. Like, I think this is important. Like, you could, you know, it's so much stuff you could share with people that you never know. Everybody's starting from some specific place. So whatever you have to share, I think, you know, is going to be, is adding value to somebody's life. So real estate. Tell me how's that going for you? I know we can talk about music, but I want to hear about your real estate journey.
Yeah, no, real estate is going great. Like, I started it probably back in like 2016 was my first property, which was a double wide. So what ended up happening with that, I bought a double wide for like $7,000, right? Dude was just trying to get rid of it because he had it rented out to somebody, and then they left it because they was on Section 8. And so it was a disaster.
I was about to ask you, was it already trashed out?
Trashed by the time he came back to do something with it. You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, nah, I'm trying to get rid of it. So he sold it. I got it. It was in the worst possible, like, it was terrible. You feel me?
I know how they are.
When I got it, me and my wife, we fixed everything up, you know what I'm saying? Got it into livable condition. We stayed in it for like a year, and then we sold it for like $25,000. So once we got that, it was kind of like, oh, we can do this. You know what I'm saying? Our plan was like, maybe we're going to go get another double wide.
So did you put
maybe 2 double wides?
How much did you put into it to get it to?
Probably like $3,000.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't that bad.
Well, it's a double wide, so it was small.
I mean, yeah.
And we got a lot of the stuff from like secondhand. You know what I'm saying? We went and got cabinets and everything from like secondhand stuff, so that it wasn't a super expensive thing because we did all the work. So that's what really
kept the labor.
Yeah. If we add labor, you might have put
I'm like, how the hell did you do that without the labor?
You might have put 5 to 7 if you counted labor, but yeah, just in materials, I think we spent about $3,000 on just materials.
That's good.
And that was, we didn't go like with hardwood floors, nothing like that. We put the laminate floor down. You know what I'm saying? We did all the basic stuff because it was more of a flip thing. It was like, how cheap can we get this done for?
That's the smart way of doing it, yeah.
We disposed everything ourselves. We did everything ourselves, so that saved a lot on what somebody else. If we would have had somebody else come in, they would have said, "Oh, you should do this, and this." We did everything else, painting, everything. You feel me? Like we going to get the oops paint. We ain't going to go get the 100 and you know what I'm saying?
That's what's wrong with a lot of investors. Like they be going in and putting their favorite. I like this one. I'm like, nah. It has to be
missing it.
Yo, it has to be systematic. Like it has to be whatever. You have to find your budget and work within that. It can't be what you like. So many people start putting what you like, and then when they start showing the house, I don't like this. People don't like this. I'm like, how do you get to that point? Just make it systematic. Make it look pretty. That's what we do. We make it look pretty.
Beautification.
Yeah.
Long as you do that, a person gonna come in. They gonna do a higher. You might paint it, design it, do all of this to your liking. But that's not to my liking.
I don't like red.
I'm the buyer. I don't like the walls. I don't like the chandelier. I don't like the lights. I'm going to change everything in it. So if you trying to think for me, you missing because you don't know what I like. And the average buyer is random. It's not like it's somebody just like you. So when you get in the mindset and you start understanding, like you take the personal out of it, you just trying to get it done and get it done so it's safe, it's welcoming, it's efficient. You can kill a lot of the vibe.
So let me tell you, you can add a little tweaks to certain rooms in the house, like the kitchen and the bathrooms. Like that's the only one you can add a little tweak, like with the lighting, but everything else, keep it, let the person see what they want to add to the house. Don't make it too much custom, to your liking. That's why we make it generic, and we make it look like one specific. It looks nice, but it's just that you could picture what you want to do to the house instead of coming in here, changing everything around, and I just put all this money into my liking. So that's dope. You know how to invest. And most of the time, people need to start like that because that's the best way to start. You learn the real ropes by doing it yourself. You actually lived in it, built it, and now you know how to, the whole game.
Exactly. And it was like, it was an experience that you can't really pay for because, everybody was like, why y'all gonna stay in it? Because in their mind, they thinking like, you gonna be in a double wide, you in a double wide. And it's like, y'all missing like, this community was a safe community. This situation was a win-win. Like you got something paid off. You don't owe nothing. You talking about no more renting. You talking that it changed.
That's called financial literacy,
the whole
bro.
Ball game. When I tell you the whole ball game changed, it threw us for a loop because we didn't really get it because we've been renting our whole lives. You feel me? And when I really got to understanding, like after my first couple flips, I'm like, to understand my grandparents been renting, to understand my mama been renting, like everybody never owning nothing. And I'm like, what did everybody miss? You get what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's because it was just too easy to just keep that same cycle without no guidance and nobody telling you, hey, this isn't how it's done. This is what you should do. This is why you should do it. Everybody at first was like, oh, y'all in that double wide. But now we talk about 7-8 years later, it's like,
that was the smartest move, yeah.
4-5 houses, a mansion, cars. Like now they see what was going on.
That one double wide set y'all up.
Set us up for a whole nother ball game.
Because people living above their means, not understanding that they got so much, they don't realize that they have money to invest, but they can't really do it because it's all tied up into everything that you consume.
Now. Think about it. We went from spending probably $2,500 plus a month to spending nothing. $7,000, putting $3,000, you 10 in, and you stacking everything else.
Shit.
Come on now, think about it. Then you turn around and flip it a year later after you used it for 25. Then we took that and went and got a house, flipped that. Come on, man.
But
It's
people's
like
pride, they can't let their pride down. It's their pride and their ego that be beating them up.
they don't get it.
Bro, to get me here, I bought my house in 2018. Like, I sat out for 4 years.
Yeah.
I ain't buy me nothing new. Like, I was just sitting out. And I already had my business. I started another business. And then I bought my house. Once I bought my house, I said, all right, I'm coming outside now. Like, I'm going to buy me, certain other things, just to catch up. But you got to sit it out for a phase.
You gotta
You can't do both.
stay down because it don't work with you trying to save and trying to spend. That don't work. If you investing, and that's what I show people every day. It's like, I'm an artist all day. I'm going to tell you that. You going to know that when you see me, no matter where I'm at. But at the end of the day, when I'm investing, I'm not doing no artist stuff because I can't mix the two because this one spends money. This one stacks money. These is two different hats that I'm wearing. And if I don't know how to balance them, oh yeah, if I try to do both of them at the same time, yeah, I'm gonna lose on my investment. And I'm not gonna lose on my investment for nothing else in the world because it don't make sense. When I'm in this bag, I'm unstoppable as an artist. You ain't slowing me up because I can go. There is nothing to stop me. But when I'm in this bag, ain't nothing gonna stop me either. And I have to understand that for myself and for my family to know, like, this a full swing circle. I know I could go make 400,000-500,000. Why would I not go do that? If it take me a year or 2 years, I can't go work nowhere and do nothing that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not lost at all. I ain't tripping about nothing that me being an artist gonna be there till I die. I'm already that. There's no taking that away. I could lose on this investment. But I could also lose on my artistry too if I just don't have the funds to keep it going. So I understand the balance and I'll take off. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll see y'all in a year if that's what it take. Because when I come back, y'all can't stop me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like me wanting to stay independent, I can understand, like, I'm gonna take my time off because if I'm gonna be independent, I'm always my own bag. I'm not looking for no bag from somebody else.
You're not splitting it with nobody.
Come on,
Nobody makes the
man.
decisions for you. You get to show your creativity in the way that you want to show that shit. Nobody
time.
can't tell you nothing. That's the best position to be in because so many people in the game is held captive. They can't do nothing with their shit, and they can't really show their full potential because they got somebody over them.
And they don't even know what they getting into when they getting into it. You get what I'm saying? Because they make it like it's just so sweet. Like any and everybody can do it. But in reality, the ones that is signing, the ones that is going down that road, is consequences that you got to deal with no matter how you cut the cookie. I've never, and I tell people this all the time, I done watched hundreds of TV One after the music, behind the music. I ain't never seen one success story. Every one of them has always said they got ran through. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, if you want me to play crazy, I can play crazy. Okay, yeah, it might. You know what I'm saying? I'm not taking no chance for something that I ain't. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you don't have to play crazy. There's so much stuff that people don't even have to take that route no more. Like to get ran through anymore. There's so much stuff you could do like you said, there's so much things that we could use right now in today's times that if you choose that route, that's on you. That's just being lazy.
It's not even.
And you're rushing
lazy.
to the money, or you're rushing for something.
You paying attention to the Joneses. That's it. You trying to keep up with them, and they ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on. But you thinking that it do because you thinking you are them. But if you know yourself, you know you can go get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I do. I strive myself and pride myself on going to get it, hustling, grinding. Like that's the background I'm coming from. So how I'm gonna not still do that in this day and age? You get what I'm saying? And it's like, if it ever got to that situation and it's like, oh, do you go and cross that? I just don't see myself doing it at this point. I done put too much energy and effort into it to not have to do that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, I get what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I understand if I can invest into something that's real, and then I can invest into myself, and I got strong backbones to keep me going. Come on, man. Ain't no reason to give it up. I don't have a reason. They got to show me a real reason because me doing music is not about the money. When I first got into it, it was like, trying to get rich. I'm trying to get famous. Like, I didn't know nothing. 10 years later, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah, I see. I know what's behind the scenes.
Come on, man. I done ran whole companies behind this. Like, you can't just say anything to me, and I'll listen to you. But, you know, when I know, I know. You know what I'm saying? Once you ride a bike and you know how to ride a bike without the training wheels, you can ride a bike anytime unless you're crippled. Yeah. You can't ride it no more. And even then, you still can if you want to go that route.
Absolutely.
You can figure out that. I done seen them. You know what I'm saying? I done seen people on social media riding a bike with no legs. Yeah. Like, you could do anything in the world if you really want to do it. But I'm saying the average person that learn how to ride a bike gonna always know how to ride a bike.
Absolutely.
You learn how to walk, you gonna always know how to walk. You learn how to crawl, you gonna always know how to crawl. You learn this music, you gonna always know this music. You learn the ins and outs of real estate or crypto or any of this stuff that I'm into or that you're into. Once you know it,
that's it.
After you had your daughter, you knew how to have a daughter.
There you go. Know how to be a father. Yeah. After that, you just add more. Yeah. No more. That's it. You learn. Once I tell everybody that first year you're a rookie. After that, you're a pro.
Come on now.
You can't go like after that first year. You in there.
If you active, you know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
You know what this cry means. Now you know what this other cry mean. You know what I'm saying? You learn, you know what this, you start learning sign language from the kid. Because you understanding what they saying. You knowing if they saying they hungry. That's what I'm saying. It's like people just got to pay attention to what's going on and then they'll get it. You get what I'm saying?
I was going to ask you, like, who guided you, like, and got you onto this wave, you know, just thinking the way you think? Like, did anybody help you in your journey?
It's real complicated because, you know, I got a lot of elders around me, but what really changed my mindset was going to prison. That really changed my whole mindset of what I was going to do and how I was going to do it from that point, because I was like, this ain't for me. You get what I'm saying? I know a lot of stuff that's for me, and I knew that wasn't for me. I wasn't dealing with it well. I'm getting in fights. I'm arguing with people. I'm not wanting to be around people. I'm like, come on now. This ain't, why are you going to be in this predicament? And then I had elders in there that's like, come on, bro, you way better than this. You know what I'm saying? You don't seem like you just a loose cannon. You seem like you made a mistake and you trying to fix it. You get what I'm saying? But you allowing people around you to determine how you're going to fix it, if you're going to get better, if you're going to make the right decision next. You get what I'm saying? And they like, you got to get around people who been here longer than you. You got to get around people who not your immediate peers, your age group. They not telling you nothing that they don't know nothing. They telling you what they know from what they seen. But you going to talk to somebody 20 years older than you, they didn't seen what you didn't seen 2 times.
Facts.
So they going to be able to tell you, they might not know everything, but they going to give you way more wisdom, way more knowledge on basic stuff that's going to make you survive, make you live longer, make you thrive, make you go get something that you would never go get. There's no way I could be this great if I didn't have a mindset of other people being that influence. Like, bro, you could go do this. If I ask my peers, can I be an artist? They like, nah, bro, you got to sign a deal. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to move like this. You go ask an older guy that done been there, done that, had artists, had situations, had things going on. They like, bro, you could do this independently. And you take these routes and these steps and you move like this, it's going to happen. It's not going to happen the way that they perceive it or they glorify it, but it's going to happen. And look at me now. It's happened. You get what I'm saying? And it's still happening and it's still going. So it's just about being aware of your environment and who you talking to and the people that you talk to. So to answer that question, it's a lot of people. It's not just one name or 2 names. It's many people who are counselors, therapists, you know, not necessarily your quote unquote counselor. It's like these, what I call the big homies, you know what I'm saying? Not the person from the hood or this, that, and the third. It's like people who sharpening my skills. You get what I'm saying? Not somebody who gonna send me down the road and not me not understand because I didn't know. You get what I'm saying? It's like a lot of the things that I did in life before going to prison was because of people was teaching me the wrong things. You get what I'm saying? And can I be mad at them? Maybe they didn't even know, you know, and it's some guys that believe they doing the right thing, but they doing the wrong thing. And it's like, once you start knowing right from wrong, it's like, come on, man, I got to move a certain way. So I'm not going around the block to learn. I'm going to somebody working in the corporate office. I'm going to somebody who's a millionaire because I'm trying to understand what they think like. Because once I get what they think like, now I could think like that. You get what I'm saying?
So I got a question for you. That's good that you said that. So what about the people that can't get around people like that? How do they even put themselves in position to try to get around people like that, right? Like, because somebody got to start from somewhere, right? So how do they get that start, right? Because you got lucky enough to put yourself in those certain environments, but how would you guide somebody that's just trying to start?
It's really, and I just had this same conversation too. To me, it seems so simple, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But my advice that I would tell somebody else is just go do it. It's not even something that you got to think about. Everybody's thinking like, oh, I'm poor, or oh, I'm in this position, or oh, I'm just a street hustler, or oh, I'm just this. I can't really relate to that. But you won't never know until you put yourself in that room, until you put yourself in that situation. It's hundreds and thousands of things going on that has something to do with that type of a lifestyle. They have all type of seminars. They have all types of counselings and different programs of where you know these people. Go to the golf course.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody at the golf course in the hood hustling. You get what I'm saying? You saying you can't get to the golf course? Yes, you can. I was just telling my wife the other day, I said, where it's cold at, I don't understand how people just gonna live on the street where it's cold at. If I was gonna choose to be a bum, I'm going to where it's warm all year round.
I feel you.
And she was like, they just don't know no difference. And I'm like, I get what you saying because I didn't know no difference. That's why I was hustling, and that's why I was doing what I was doing. And if nobody's there to tell you, hey, you know, you could just catch the Greyhound or say, you know, you hustling every day anyway in the cold. During the summer, this next summer, you hustle, or you hustle during this winter, get you a Greyhound ticket and move to Cali. You don't live nowhere.
Go to Miami. I know.
Go to Miami. You don't have no family because you're living on the street.
Yeah.
You don't live nowhere because you're living on the street. What are you holding on to?
See, but that tell you it's a mindset. It's not a position. It's
all mindset.
Yeah,
and that's why to answer that question is like, it's not hard. They're confusing themselves saying, I don't know if I can be around these people.
So let me tell you why, right? There's a part that you got to do before you even try. You got to do something yourself. Right? And people are choosing not to do nothing themselves. So when they go in those rooms, they feel insecure in those environments because you haven't done nothing for yourself at that point. Right? So you got to do something for yourself. And then when you go into that room, maybe you could talk about something that you've done, and it might relate with somebody that's doing something bigger, right? And that's how you got to do it. That was a dumbed down question because I wanted to see how, you know, because people, you're saying it from a position of doing, right? But what about the people that's not doing and they need to hear like, all right, how do I even get in a room like that?
It's because it's
you gotta do some work yourself a little bit.
Of thinking that everybody is the same. You get what I'm saying? It's like you'll get in one of them rooms and these people may not know nothing about what you're talking about, but they're intrigued because they don't understand why you do what you do. So you missing your opportunity because you thinking insecurely because you thinking you ain't got the bag like them or you can't relate to them. But that's why they gonna get into you. That's why they gonna like you because they can't relate, but they want to be able to relate because they want to be able to make money with you. They want to be able to get it where you at because they know how they got where they at, but if they can get it down here too, they gonna eat all day long, and they can make you eat up here with them. But it's because they want to know. A lot of the people that you think don't want to know, they want to know. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, no, they don't really care about us. Actually, they do, because y'all probably 90% of their customers. They selling something.
So I agree. So let me tell you, right? There's another side to it, right? I know a little bit about your past, right? So for the ones that said they ain't have no parents, they ain't have nobody, their daddy wasn't around, their mama wasn't there. What do you say to those? Those are the ones that, because I feel like your parents sometimes give you that confidence. Sometimes that they start you off with that confidence, right? So what about the people? Because we both have similar backgrounds. I ain't had my parents since I was 4 years old, bro.
Yeah.
I grew up in foster care my whole life. So what about those people, right? I feel like we're the opposite, right? We push against that, or we went against the grain in that sense. But the people that feel like those are their reasons for not being able to accomplish what they accomplished, what do you think about that?
It's really just understanding you as a person. You gotta get out of your ego, your pride, your guard, your past. It's so much like they use PTSD for the military mainly, right? We all got it from everything, no matter what type of background you from, you got some form of it because you have been through something in your life that was traumatic. Everybody is experiencing this. And this is where people are getting it confused and being like, oh, I ain't had this person or that type of person. I'm trying to tell you, that is not what the people, they don't know that. Unless you tell them that, then they know that. But you're in your head saying, they're going to know I didn't have my dad around. They're going to know that I didn't have my mom around. Yes. They're going to know I was abused. They're going to know I was this type of way. They don't know nothing but
you're
what you come to them with.
You introduce them to that person.
I tell people all the time, people are so scared to move out of town or move somewhere new and start all the way over. But that's probably the best thing you could ever do for yourself because you come wherever you're going with every piece of knowledge. That's like me saying, can I go back to 2 years old with the knowledge that I got? You know how cold I'll be at 2?
Hell yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you take what you know and move anywhere else with what you know, and you introduce yourself as this person.
Yes.
You won automatically. You know what it was like when you was abused. You know what it was like when you ain't had your dad. You know what it was like in that realm. Go somewhere where they don't know nothing about you, and you tell them what's going on, how it's going on, why it's going on, because of the new you is that. But it took me to go to prison to realize it was a new me. That was my second chance. It was like, nigga, you could go do anything. Yeah. They in there telling me I could go do anything. Ain't nobody never told me that. Yeah. Nobody was preaching, nigga, you could be anything you want to be. Yeah. You don't have to be no street hustle. You don't have to be in the military. You don't have to be this. You could be anything you want to be. That hit differently when I understood, like, I'm praying for just a second chance. I'm praying to come home and live my life again, do regular stuff again. I just want to be normal. That hit different because it's like, you could really go anywhere and do anything. And then people question it now, like, how the hell did you make all of this happen in 10 years? Because I realized wherever I was going, I was coming with everything that I knew, and that's who I was gonna go be around. That's what I was gonna go.
You talking to the new you. You talking to the real you at that point. Like
you know yourself.
There you go.
Once you know yourself, there is nothing in this world you can't do. When people be like, "Oh, that's like a rocket science." To a rocket scientist, is easy. Take that same project to a rocket science about rocket science. He gonna do it with his eyes closed. But take it to somebody that don't know. Yes, it's hard.
Yeah.
But take real estate to somebody that don't know. It's hard. Yeah. Take doing math to somebody that don't know math. It's hard. Reading, the basic needs, eating, physical health, anything.
If you don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do it. You don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that we going to call simple. But if you take it to them, it's still hard. That's just as hard as rocket science to a person that don't know how to eat healthy. That's rocket science.
Yeah.
So it's just about your knowledge.
So how long after you got out of jail did you pop? Like, do you feel like all that came to work for you?
I think that it was working. I don't think that I really felt like I understood that it was working till probably about 6 or 7 years in. Probably about 7 years in, I was like, this is working. Somebody else might tell you it was working 3-4 years ago. But to me, myself, I didn't understand that it was working because I didn't understand what I was doing for the people. Because I was still independent. I was still striving to be an artist. I was still striving to be signed. I was still thinking like, oh, it gotta be like this to be this person. And then one day it hit me like, nah, you controlling the whole little situation right now.
So you woke
you
up.
Really, yeah, like you
like,
really
I'm the
got
man
something.
with the talent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it hit me and I was like, dang, so you telling me like this really was going on? So I was thinking like, oh, you gotta have it like this and this, that, and the third. You know, they're gonna put the narrative out there, the money, you know, the jewelry, the cars, the clothes, the, you know, the popularity. They're gonna put all of these narratives to what it takes or makes you as an artist, a real artist. But it hit me like, nah, man, you putting together, I think like there was probably about 6-7 years in, I'm putting together shows with 500-600 people by myself.
Wow.
I'm booking the venue. I'm bringing the people out. I'm hosting it. I'm doing all of this on my own. I'm like, nah, they ain't telling me I'm not no artist.
Yeah.
I'm getting 17 independent artists to come do the show with me.
Wow.
There ain't no way you gonna tell me I ain't got something going.
Yeah.
Once that hit me, it was like, oh no, this is serious. Like this ain't just no joke. You know what I'm saying? Your following's growing, your popularity's going. People know who you are. You understand the swag. You understand the culture. You understand what you're doing. I actually know, like, that's when I'm feeling like, oh, I'm going in a booth. It's taking me 30 minutes to make a record. It's not taking me time to read it, learn it, understand it. Like, that's when I was like, nah,
I got this shit.
This is it. This is what they talking about. Yeah. And that's when the whole narrative changed, like, sign for what?
I was going to ask you that. Would you ever, is there any amount of money that would get you to sign?
It's not at this point, because it's like, what for?
You be giving everything away for no reason.
There is no reason for somebody in my position. I got the cars, I got the clothes, I got the jewelry, I got the houses, I got the motion, I got the music, I got everything that I want to do with music. What is it that they're saying they can do for me? Now that I'm in it so deep, now I'm understanding how to pay for promotion, understanding how to pay for marketing, understanding that I got to do certain things to make a song pop or to make, I understand the whole business to what I believe. Now, if it's something that's magical out there that I'm missing, maybe it is. You get what I'm saying? But for the most part, I'm so comfortable in myself that it's like, it's not about no money.
They got to come. They got to, and it's not about money, because most of the time, when they offer you something, you work 10 times what they're offering.
Come on now.
So it's either
when you able to go get your own bag, you're not really talking about somebody putting you on. Yeah. It's like, I'm not a kid no more.
I know.
It's like, when I was younger, I'm like, hey, bro, put me on. You know what I'm saying? Front me to... It's like, come on, man, you a grown man. What
can you do for me that I can't do for myself?
And if I can't do it for myself, that means I don't need to do it.
Yeah. Well, I haven't figured it out yet. That's the only part. I just got to take time.
It's only two things. It's either I don't need to do it or I haven't figured it out, because I'm understanding, like, I could go get in any room. Once you realize you can get in any room, I have everything I got on is sponsorships. I thought you could only get sponsorships from being a labeled artist. You get what I'm saying? I thought you could only get this amount of fans from being a labeled artist. I thought all of these things was you had to have a deal to do this. Once I broke all of those chains, it was like,
they done fucked up now. There's no reason to go that way.
I had to start saying, who am I if I've broken all of these chains without doing it the traditional way? And once you start questioning who you are and what you really doing, and you start understanding, because people letting you know, like, man, you doing this. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got real relationships. This isn't like, oh, somebody putting you in a position all the time and you got somebody over you to... I'm running everything. I'm knowing everything. So it's like, you understand that, nah, it don't take all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it depends, too, on how big you talking to. It's like, will I ever be Drake? No. You know what I'm saying? But I'm Drake in my lane.
Yeah, why would you? There's only one of everybody, so you only one-on-one, bro. You
they
special.
Gotta know that, and that's what people missing. They like, no, I'm trying to be like
somebody else.
I'm trying to be like Drake.
They all one-on-one.
They looking at these moguls or these people in this certain light, but it's like when they time is off, where is they light?
But it's not even about, it's like being comfortable with yourself because we're all one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right. So we all,
For sure.
only one person. So it can only be one Drake anyway. So if you really focus on who you are, you could be the next big thing, but don't try to be like nobody else. Like, and that's you, by being the next big thing is by you focusing on who you really are.
Right.
At the end of the day.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like the game gives you this persona of it being like what a superstar is. Like you get what I'm saying? It's like there's so many people striving to be this superstar. Like when you thinking of an artist, you thinking the Michael Jackson effect. It's like, but they not understanding what that is. You get what I'm saying? It's like you could have that effect as an independent in your own way. Because you are your own individual.
Yeah.
If you do your thing the way he did his thing, you're him. You got it. But they confuse you with the glitz and glamour and the lifestyle and all of the stuff that's going on around it that you be missing the whole big picture. And that's why I say, like, I started waking up to that. Like, a person can't say Jay-Z or, a certain name and I be like, they too superior to me. Nah, bro. I am that same thing that he's doing. But he ain't no better than me.
I know, but that's because you came in the game different, bro. You built, like, you did the back end, you did the business way into the game. You didn't come in through the front door, like you went through the back door or went through the basement door, should I say. Yeah. And you built your way up. So you see it differently. Like, it's like, what can anybody do for you? Some people, they don't want to do that work that you did.
They not gonna do the work.
I know, because they know it's too hard. You have nothing to worry about. Because it's like, yo, you know how hard you gotta climb to get to what you did. Like that shit is it's not impossible, but you gotta break some bone. You gotta go through so much. I'm sure there was some nights that you was crying behind, like you didn't know how you gonna eat tomorrow.
Come on now.
They're not willing to go through that shit.
And that's what I say is like they not built the same way, and it's like. I try to tell people all the time, it's, people will put the Detroit on my back, but it's like, you got to put the military on my back. You got to put the prison on my back. You got to put society and the life skills that I learned. You got to put my relationship on my back. Being a black man. Being a black man. Like, you got so many things that I'm like, I'm wearing all these hats at the same time, and I can turn it on, turn it off, understanding it. When you got so much knowledge and wisdom and you respect your elders and you understand what it is, it's going to be hard to confuse me of being like, you don't got it. And when that really hit me, it was like, dang, so they was playing like I had to do this to be like this. And I'm like, come on now. I could ask this person to book me and they don't want to give me $200. But I can get 500 people in one building by myself on my own. Why would I not?
$25 tickets.
Why would I not? Why would I pay for this, get the 200, and I'm selling tickets because people want to come? Come on, man. You got me triple working to do what I can pay underpaid. Man, once I figured it out,
overworking underpaid.
It was too much for me to like just let my hair down. It's like, I get it now. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, that's so crazy. Nah, I really appreciate you for pulling up, bro. And I could talk to you all day, goddamn.
No, we gotta do it again.
Yeah, we gotta do it again.
It comes with a lot. You only gonna get so much in so much time. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the beauty in this. That's why I do so many interviews, because it's like, hey, you give this little piece and then you come back and you give more of the piece.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like music. If I only ever drop one song and that was it, it's like, how are they gonna understand what you're doing? You gotta keep doing more and more and more and more and more and more. How many interviews you done did? You get what I'm saying? You got to keep doing more and more and more and more and more. Because each person brings something different. And that's the beauty in it. And it's like certain people, I need to bring them back.
Nah, bro, you definitely got to come back, man.
They got something that is different.
Yeah, and we even touched the iceberg of how much knowledge we got that we could spit on this shit. So I really appreciate you for pulling up. One more thing before you leave, right? And like I was telling you about the university theme, I have this part that's called School 'em. So before you leave, I want you to school the audience and just give them something that they could take away from this interview. And you can speak to your camera, but just give them something. 2 minutes of just some knowledge that you feel like you want them to take with them.
Ooh. It's a lot I want them to take, but something that's super important that I would want them to take is to understand yourself. Like, when I say that, don't take it lightly at all, because there was a point when I didn't understand myself. There was a point when my wife didn't understand herself. There was a point when my family members don't understand themselves. And it's like, you got to understand yourself to a whole nother level that you're comfortable to go in any room, be in any place, talk to anybody, because that's the only way you're going to grow as a person. There's too many people that don't understand themselves, but they're so worried and concerned about everybody else's stuff. But that's why you're concerned about everybody else's stuff, because like I know, you can go fix somebody else's problem way easier than you could fix your own problem.
Absolutely.
You might be at home dealing with domestic violence, but you can't fix your domestic violence. But your homeboy or your homegirl dealing with it, you know exactly what to tell them to do, because you don't know yourself, because you can't even fix yourself. Yep. And that's where a lot of people is hiding behind drugs, alcohol, and all these other things, because they can't even fix themselves. It's a difference from being a social drinker because you're doing something and you gotta drink and you gotta smoke and you gotta do. People are hiding behind their own self and they not even realizing it's you. Once you learn you're unstoppable. Like, yes, every human bleeds, every human dies, but there is levels that you can take things that nobody else can reach if you know yourself.
There you go.
And that's the most important thing that I could tell somebody. Learn yourself, because once you do, that's the only way I'm here talking like I talk.
Yep.
Because I learned myself and I asked for forgiveness. I asked for self-awareness. I asked for self-love. I asked for these things because I knew I wanted to be better than everything that I ever knew. And I'm a first-generation millionaire, first-generation family man, first-generation, all of these things, homeowner. Like, it's the accolades can go and go. I could talk for years with this. You get what I'm saying? It took me to learn myself. I had to learn that they was teaching me how to be a player, and that ain't what they should have been teaching. They should have been teaching me how to love somebody. You get what I'm saying? That's learning yourself.
Legacy.
How to build legacy, how to build relationship. If you don't know nothing else but yourself, you're going to go so much further than you ever can imagine. Nobody can take you nowhere. Nah. You hold yourself back. They used to say that, like, you in your own way. We just laughing it off like, whatever.
Nah, that's the fact.
That's the real truth. You are in your own way. You are your own self-destruction. Nobody don't destroy you. Nobody can ruin your reputation. Nobody can do nothing to you, because you would have to believe it before it be believed. You could tell somebody, you could tell her, him, them, I'm ugly, I'm lost, I'm dumb. You could tell them anything. Until I believe it, it don't matter. It's going in one ear and out the other. Even if it sink in, it ain't affecting me, because I'm knowing like where I'm going and how I'm getting there and why I'm getting there. That's where you know yourself. Once you know yourself, can't nobody knock you off your square. Can people get me mad? Can they get under my skin? Yes. But I'm talking about off my square. You can't do it. You're not going to stop me, because I know I could drop everything, leave everything right here, and I'm going to go make it big somewhere else. I can leave everything that I have, 5 houses, cars, all that. I can leave all that right there, and I guarantee you I can go get it again. That's what learning myself and understanding, like, you can really do anything. And once you learn that, man, you unstoppable. Like, literally.
Facts. Nah, thank you, brother, for that. And I hope somebody could definitely get something from that, because that was powerful right there, bro. So before we end, how can they find you, bro? On what platforms?
They can find me any and everywhere. The most famous places you can find me is like the Instagrams, the TikToks, the YouTube. You know, that's all gonna be the same stuff.
You gotta give them your
MPR _ Richie RICHE_Rich. But if you so happily cannot find me in those like cool places, like I'm on the block, I'm in the basement, I'm on the roof, I'm in the attic,
grinding.
I'm everywhere. I'm in the Walmart, I'm in the Target, I might hit Party City, it's shutting down. Like I'm everywhere where you need to be. Like I'm not nowhere that you can't find me. Like I'm
go
outside.
Find my brother. Go find him for real, because he's talking some shit and he's on his shit for real. Now I appreciate you for joining me, bro, and it's been a pleasure. You definitely gotta come back again. We definitely gotta do this again, and it's nothing but love. I wish you nothing but success on your journey, bro. And I'm following you, and I'm making sure I will support anything if you ever need anything, bro. So
let's do it. And it's the same. Likewise, I'm on it. Like,
yes, sir.
We're gonna take this and, you know,
go to the roof. Go to the moon with this.
People gonna be like, where they at a year from now? It's like, you know, it's progression.
Yep.
I'm moving like the stocks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it go down, sometimes it go, but consistently, it's going up. You get what I'm saying? And once you learn and you know, ain't nothing else to talk about.
Nah, for real. Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you too.
All right.